You've heard Billie Eilish's song about them, but what actually are quasars? The brightest objects in the universe, powered by supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies, quasars outshine their entire host galaxies and can be seen as they were billions of years ago. Here's what we know about these fascinating objects and how they help us understand the evolution of the universe. The word quasar was coined in 1963 when astronomers realized that some of these extremely bright objects were not stars. They were given the catchy name Quasi-Stellar Object because most of them appeared as points of light, not as fuzzy objects like galaxies do. However, with new telescopes, we now know that quasars have large structures surrounding them. But because they are so far away, they still appear as tiny dots in our sky. Most quasars are found at the center of galaxies, and astronomers think that the bright light we see comes from a region called the accretion disk around a supermassive black hole. Material in the disk is heated to millions of degrees and emits X-rays and gamma rays. In addition to the light coming from the accretion disk, there are also huge clouds of glowing gas and dust around quasars. These structures are powered by the energy from the accretion disk and can extend for thousands of light years. We can also see material being ejected from the center of quasars in the form of huge lobes that can span hundreds of thousands of light years. This material is driven by jets of plasma moving at nearly the speed of light. Jets are huge cones of particles that shoot out from near the black hole and emerge from the base of the quasar's glowing lobes. As the jets move outward, they sweep up and carry away vast amounts of energy and matter. The total energy output of a quasar can be as much as 100 trillion times the luminosity of the sun. And yet, despite their enormous power, quasars are relatively small. Most of the mass of a quasar is contained in the supermassive black hole at its core. But the size of the accretion disk and the structure surrounding a quasar can vary dramatically. The structure around a quasar is not static, but evolves over time as it interacts with the surrounding gas and dust in the host galaxy. While the total number of quasars in the universe has decreased over time, today they are still relatively common. Astronomers have found about 200,000 quasars within 10 billion light years of Earth. Most of these quasars would appear as faint dots on the sky, but a few dozen are bright enough to be seen with the naked eye under dark skies. If you were standing next to one of these quasars, you would be blinded by the light coming from the accretion disk. Then you would see huge clouds of glowing gas and dust surrounding you. Above, you would see huge lobes of material being ejected from the poles of the quasar. Because these objects are so incredibly far away, all the light we see from them has been redshifted into the radio part of the electromagnetic spectrum. We can see quasars as they were billions of years ago when the universe was very different than it is today. For this reason, studying quasars helps us learn about the conditions in the early universe and how the first galaxies formed. In particular, quasars can teach us about the large-scale structure of the universe. By studying the distribution of quasars, astronomers can map the distribution of matter in the early universe. They can also use quasars as a sort of standard candle to measure distances to other galaxies, because the brightness of a quasar is related to the mass of the black hole at its center. Astronomers can use quasars to study how supermassive black holes grow and evolve over time. Finally, quasars may help us search for ancient, extinct civilizations. Because the light from quasars can punch through the vast clouds of dust in spiral galaxies, they act like a natural telescope, allowing us to see things that would otherwise be hidden. Some astronomers speculate that the light from quasars may have played an important role in the evolution of life on Earth. And perhaps there are other forms of life out there that have evolved to harness the power of quasars. It's a long shot, but you never know. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember that some of those stars are really quasars powered by supermassive black holes. They may seem like just another pretty star, but they are truly one of the most fascinating objects in the universe. If you enjoyed this video, you may enjoy the space engine. The mission of the space engine is to allow people to explore the universe in virtual reality. The space engine is a non-profit organization funded by NASA and other space agencies. If you want to support the space engine, you can make a donation on our website. Thanks for watching.